Here goes a story that had gotten few attention from the media. It is flying under the radar. Very few are talking about it. One of the reasons why I'm bringing attention to this is because her life matter. Her name is Mahogany Jackson. Have you heard of Mahogany Jackson? Have you heard of t-shirts of Mahogany Jackson? Has any football players bow their knees in favor of Mahogany Jackson? Have you heard anybody say no justice, no peace for Mahogany Jackson? Why haven't you? And you should, because her life matter, because she's a black woman. And to top it off, what happened to her was despicable. And one of the reasons why I like to highlight this is to go to show you there's a double standard, there's some confusion, there's a lot of hypocrisy, there's a lot of misconception going on here, and many other people who like to highlight the crimes that's happening to black people. They like to speak about the white supremacists and the evildoers of our society. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Where are they when it comes to the case of Mahogany Jackson? You don't hear a single thing being mentioned about her name. Nobody has a t-shirt of her. There's no honor, there's no glory, there's no laws and policies being changed as a result of her. And this one here breaks my heart because it goes to show some of these people don't care. They only care if Mahogany Jackson was done, as we're about to find out today, if what was done to Mahogany Jackson was done by the hand of some white people, the story will have been different. The story will have been different. Let me show you, friends. Brace yourself. This is going to break your heart, but I'm trying to make a point, don't you see?
News right now on the 4. The more information we learn about the disturbing kidnapping and murder of Mahogany Jackson, the harder it is and more awful it is to hear.
Some of those suspects accused in her killing making an appearance in court today. Bria Chapman joins us now live with the latest. And Bria, the details that you heard today in court are disturbing and heartbreaking.
Yeah, Morgan, that is right. This case is beyond disturbing, and it was an emotional day in court. Now, one of the saddest details I learned today is that Mahogany Jackson came to the first location thinking these people were her friends. Investigators say they then tortured her, and the things that were described are why Judge Keisha Davis says she denied all of these suspects a bond. Now, Birmingham Police Homicide Detective Mark Green says the first stop was the home of suspect Brandon Pope. Now, that's where Jackson was beaten outside while she was naked. Officers say some of the suspects beat her while others recorded the beatings. Now, Jackson was stomped and kicked, and then prosecutors say one of the suspects can be heard saying, "Put her in the trunk," and then she was dragged naked in the street. Now, Jackson was taken to a second location, and I want to warn you, this will be hard to hear.
Now, you know this. Now, that's the first phase of what was done to her. Why would you do this to this girl? And these people were her friends. And by the way, just in case you missed it, all of them were black people. And I know how the race baiters like to play the game. Oh, they trying to do this to black people. Oh, they want to. Oh, wait. Fellas, this black woman was canceled. Do you understand? She was made to take her last breath by the hand of black people. And we like to cry racism. What do you do about this one? It doesn't get national news, does it? It has to fly under the radar. We, small YouTubers, are talking about this. Mainstream media, CNN, MSNBC, even Fox News. Have you heard them spoken about? When did they say anything about this story? Tabooed. Why? Her life doesn't matter? Why? What was done to her wasn't as wrong? Why? Because she's not a George Floyd? Why? Because there was no white people in the act? Can we just be honest for a minute here and acknowledge the level of hypocrisy that's going on here? Can we acknowledge what the left is doing as far as promoting what they call evildoers, wrongs, as far as highlighting certain story and do a completely black hole when it comes to stories that doesn't fit their narrative? Can we be honest by acknowledging the fact there's some serious hypocrisy going on here? Are you ready for part 2? Because it's going to get worse. What they've done to her. This is what they've done to a young black mother. And all 8 of them were black people. Why did they do that? It's over a cell phone, buddy. Over a cell phone.
Taken to a second location, and I want to warn you, this will be hard to hear. Prosecutors say Jackson was sexually assaulted at gunpoint. Officials say she was handcuffed, beaten, pistol whipped, and then spat on. Now, Jackson's family, including her mother, were present in court today, and as they read out the evidence, you could hear them getting very emotional. DA Danny Carr says, though, this will be a long road to get justice for Mahogany, and he also explains why only 5 out of the 8 suspects were present today for the Anayas Law hearing.
The individuals that are charged with capital murder, obviously, the law, the statute and the rules of criminal procedure says that their bond can be set at a no bond automatically. The individuals that are charged with felony murder, the statute requires a hearing. The next step, obviously, is there'll be further investigation with Birmingham Police Department.
Yeah, another sad thing we learned today was that the suspects wanted the password to Mahogany Jackson's phone. Officials say they even told her if she gave it to them, they would let her go, only to kill her anyway. Now, live at 5, you'll hear what District Attorney Danny Carr says he told the family today. Morgan.
So what does this tell you, man? There's some serious criminals out here in our world today. What does this tell you? It debunks the idea that our greatest fear today is white supremacists. Black people, your greatest fear are black people who are criminals in your community. That should be your greatest fear. If you think some white supremacists with hoods is what you need to be worrying about in today's culture, listen, they're playing with your mind. I tell you, man, I lived in these communities. I packed up my bag with my lovely family and we left. We saw what these guys were doing. They were criminals. They were evildoers. Listen, we don't wish evil on people because we are Christians. We know God can change the heart. But you need to protect your families from wicked men. Here is the thing, though. Unfortunately, Mahogany Jackson is one of those stories you're going to hear about for the time being on independent channels like myself, and then nothing else will be said. Fly under the radar. These guys might be in prison. Some of them might be set free. Some of them are going to get out. I can guarantee you it's going to happen. Okay? Soft on crime policies is going to make that happen. Supposed a new bail reform is not going to work in her favor in the long run. But the thing is, how different will that story have been? Were the perpetrators and these killers, were they white people? Boy, we talking about George Floyd 2.0? We're talking about burning down precincts? We're talking about no justice, no peace? We're talking about politicians bowing their knees? We're talking about even the White House will put out a statement to talk about how sorry they are? That's what would have happened. Joe Biden would have come out and say something. You would have heard the Black Lives Matter movement. You would have heard Jesse Jackson, Benjamin Crumb, what's his name, Al Sharpton. They would have come out standing next to her grave and gave a speech about the evil of the white man. But when black people did this to another sister of theirs, their very own, quiet. Why? Because they don't care about black people. They use black people as a political pawn to highlight their career. It's all about leverage for them. It's all about rising to the next level. And if they have to stand on the grave of a dead black man to do so, so be it. Mahogany Jackson is going to get no justice, no peace. There's no t-shirt made after her name. LeBron James ain't gonna say nothing. Why? Because the ones who did it were black people. You know, there comes a point for me where I say, for me, it's like, I'm all about second chances, giving people an opportunity to clean up their behaviors. But when people shows no remorse after some evil deeds, I said, man, the death penalty. I'm so serious. I said, where is the death penalty? I know, listen, I don't advocate for this all the time. But I tell you what, man, if you're going to take the life of a young lady in this way with this level of treatment, well thought out, premeditated murder, aid of use doing this to her, can you imagine the last few minutes of her life, what that was like? If you're going to do something like that in this country, knowing she's of the same color, ethnicity as you are, and yet you walk bold in your sin, I will say, you know what? There goes a good reason why the death penalty must be applied. Exodus 21:12. 21:12. Whosoever strikes a man so that he dies is surely to be put to death. Now you can say, oh, and I know how my Catholic friends argue, no death penalty. Because sometimes these people can be changed, and yeah, true. Sometimes people need a second chance. Yeah, true. But there's times you need to set an example so that he doesn't keep on happening, though. And I mean, no, it's saying all these people deserve that. I'm saying is some of them do. I know they're young. They made bad decisions at time. And years down the road, you can look back and say, how stupid was I when I did this? I was ignorant. I was with my friends. I was angry. I was a mess. I get that, man. But Mahogany Jackson is gone, though. She left her daughter behind, though. Her mother has to deal with the pain, though. Do you understand? I'm done talking. I wanted to bring attention to this matter because very few channels are speaking about it. I think her life matters as well. A change has to come. This is why the conversation must keep happening. Thank you for listening. Share your thought and perspective with me. I want to hear from you. Where do you stand when it comes to this? Make sure you like and subscribe to the page. Click the bell icon for more. Have a good one.